Saate please.
Hey, Veronica, you change your voice.
Yes.
No. Tak já uslyším.
Yeah.
No, akorát tam nemáš, že jo, teďka navigaci.
Já přežiju. 100 km do Norimberkové rovně.
Guess you should switch off the microphone when you are talking in Czech. But anyway,
Tell them in Czech because they're not listening.
držte hubu, sestry. Anyway, I think we should officially start the meeting. I'm really happy to see you, or at least hear you here, and welcome you in the new board. Also, like most of the people are here from the old one, and I'm really looking forward to the cooperation. I'm happy for how we work together in the previous one, and I believe this is precisely the setting where we can do something really like useful for the upcoming election and help our member parties to actually get better results, because yeah, now it counts. When it comes to the content, I would honestly, concerning how I might feel myself, as I'm probably COVID positive, I would probably prefer to transfer the chairing to let's say Alessandro, to actually give you better insight into the procedures of the board for those who are new here and who needs the introduction. And maybe maybe we should first do some round of introduction. So the name is Mikuláš, elected for Czech Pirates, currently serving as the member of the European Parliament, and a little bit under the COVID influence, so no longer talking and transferring the word to the others.
Thank you very much, Mikuláš. I hope you will get well soon. So greetings from Luxembourg. Here is the we are in this wonderful place that hosted yesterday also the council meeting in Luxembourg. Here I am, Alessandro, the treasurer of this board, and next to me we have Petra, we have Sara, and we have Giuseppe. Remotely connected also we have Florian and Veronica. I still cannot see Jan, that is the last board member elected. And next to me, the unstoppable, you can see typing, you know, this is from him, Map. So if so, thank you also for Pirates on Air that streams this meeting, for streaming this meeting. Now this is, you know, okay, working. It seems to work. And Jan just joined. Thank you, Jan, for joining the meeting. So if nobody is objecting, I will chair the meeting and open it officially. We decided briefly to have this meeting. The board decided to have the same structure of our pad. So you can see the pad in the link that I've posted into the chat. Next to me, Petra will help with the minutes, but of course you can also collaborate and help her. By the way, I would also ask to our guests to write their names in the proper section. So let me just go through the first topic. That is the approval of the agenda. You can find, no, maybe we should, I don't know if we should approve also the agenda, sorry, the minute of the last board. So let me just take it a second to post it, or if Mab is quicker than me, he can do it as well. We have this. Okay, this is I will post it into the minute. The approval of the minutes. Yes, the last meeting is here. Okay, so I will insert also the last board meeting. So first of all, we can have the approval of the agenda that you can find later on. So please, we can vote on the approval of the agenda online. Is it? Yeah, 86. For Sarah and Giuseppe that are new to this, you can just go to the minute and type your name next to yes, no, or abstain if you want to vote the approval of the agenda.
Sorry, Alessandro, we missed the point of actually electing the meeting chair and secretary, but I think we can just write it down in a minute because no one protested.
Yeah, sorry. I was talking that, yeah, I was presenting me and as chairing of the meeting, and Petra of the minute taker, and if nobody was opposing and I heard nothing, that's why I skipped this point. But thank you very much for reminding me, Veronica. So I please the minute takers, if you can add that this decision has taken unanimously. Thank you. So we are now in the process of moving further to, yeah, exactly. Section 0.2 election of the meeting secretary has been done. So we can now move to the section 0.4, that is the approval of the minutes of the last meeting that you can find also at line 46. This was the minute reported in our wiki for the last board session. You can cast your vote at line 88. Okay, I see that we have also majority, and this minutes has been approved by the board. So we can move to the confirmation of any decision taken in between meetings. Actually, as far as I remember, we had taken no decision between last board meeting, so we can move forward to the written reports, and we don't have any written reports. So let's move to decision without discussions. That is the point 1 of the agenda. Time and place for the upcoming board meeting. So we had taken some decisions regarding the Italian European election, and at last council meeting, not last, but last council meeting, the council decided that the board has to take a decision for the Italian European election lists between the 15th and the end of March 2024. After a brief discussion, we can propose the date of March the 21st at 6:30 CET online as the next board meeting. So we can have time to organize also all the formal activities in the Mattermost board channel, as well if needed to take any urgent decision that should arise in between the next 1 month and a half in Discourse as we previously done. Are there any other suggestion, or anyone want to say something about this? Okay, so this is not to be the case. So I will move also to the other on-site board meeting that we would like to plan just straight after the election. So exactly the week after the election, the 15th of June in Brussels, connecting to a meeting with the newly elected MEPs just the day before Friday the 14th. This is why I'm proposing this, because we need to talk with. It's very important to talk with the newly elected MEPs and then to prepare to have the first real meeting with all of them, and then prepare the next council meeting that should be held in June, last week of June, before the new session of the formal actually the formal election of the MEPs in July. So we think that basically this is the best option that we have to meet everyone on site in Brussels, because MEPs will be already there, and also we can join them there. If anyone wants to propose something else or discuss, actually this is a decision without discussion, but still we are here. This is not to be the case, so I will open the vote at line 111. Please cast your vote if you agree, and even if you don't agree. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, to cast your vote. Jan, if you're there, you can also cast your vote. If you can hear us, you're welcome. Then point 1.2 is registration of the new board in Luxembourg. This is a very important stuff we have to do as soon as possible. So I proposed the board. I proposed the board proposed to reconfirm the mandate given to Maya, our pirate assistant, to register the newly elected board within all the relevant registries in Luxembourg as soon as possible. So please be aware, if we confirm this decision, that Maya will be in charge of this activity, and please take care all the documents that she needs to do this as soon as possible. Don't wait time, because time is important. Mab wants to say something? No. So please, if you don't have anything to add, cast your vote at line 119 to appoint to appoint Maya. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for casting this vote. Let's move to section number 2, decisions with discussion. So we have priorities to be taken before the elections. So first of all, point 211 is the CEP on our webpage. So there is the link of the full CEP on Discourse, and we have to adapt it in order to be, to arrange to be published into the web page of our PPEU. So we have a proposal here that we should replace the 2024 CEP. The 2024 CEP should replace the 2019 CEP on the wiki web page, and MAB can help us in doing this. But I can briefly open the discussion. Maybe if you want to say something on this, please.
Yes, the previous board discussed about putting the CEP online, and the agreement was that since it hadn't been ratified yet by all the member parties, we should give them the time that we had allowed them to ratification. That time has expired, so it makes sense to now put it online. and then of course replace the old one. And when I was looking at the CEP, I noticed that, so this is the second proposal, the topic of migration and asylum was done by the Foreign Affairs Working Group, so it's part of the Foreign Affairs chapter. But my guess is that people who come to the webpage to look for information about the Pirate position on those topics will not necessarily look under Foreign Affairs, so they will incorrectly assume that we don't have positions on those topics unless we put them as a separate chapter. So without changing any of the structure in the CEP, on the webpage, my proposal is that the sections in the Foreign Affairs chapter named Migration and the one named Asylum should be presented as a separate chapter labeled Migration and Asylum on the PPEU website.
Thank you, Mab. Is there anyone want to add something on this proposal? Okay, seems not to be the case. I do ask you please to cast your vote at line 136. Yes, who's asking to speak? Mikuláš, please.
Maybe we can also support this separation of migration and asylum as it is on the following lines.
Thank you very much, Mikuláš, to remind this. So please cast your vote at line 142 to support the proposal above. Thank you very much. So let's move to point 2.1.2 donation scheme. So it was discussed, yes, by the previous board to set up a donation scheme to improve the income of the organization, right? And this is absolutely something that we already thought with, I mean, me and Floriano, we also discussed it. So I would add this little, to take it briefly, I think that, first of all, my proposal is to, because we are an association registered in Luxembourg, we should investigate a bit more within. So my proposal is to wait first that we have the whole new board set and registered officially in the Luxembourgish chamber. Plus, in the meantime, with the help of Florian, if he is still available, I will investigate on the Luxembourg, and of course asking here to the Luxembourgish Pirate, what are the current situation and what the Luxembourgish laws allow us to do and don't. Beside on this, I will prepare a report to the next board, and based on this, we can discuss in between which kind of not formal but substantial actions we want to achieve from a political point of view, because donations are very, very important. So maybe we discussed how to limit the raise of donation if they're individuals, from companies. There are many, many political implications, transparencies, and so on. But all these things should come after, I mean, we should be within the law we are related into. So my suggestion is to postpone this decision to the next board.
No, rather.
Sorry. With the proposal is, with the help of Florian, I will look into how we can set up a donation scheme in line with the Luxembourgish laws, and based on this, prepare a report and the decision for the board in the next meeting. Thanks, Mao. So, if you don't have anything to add, please cast your vote on this proposal on line 152. Okay, I see that the agenda point now can be closed and we can move to the point number 3, that is discussions without decisions. So the first item I put on the agenda is how to set up future council meetings. So Veronica just pointed out, and we also agree yesterday, that actually based on our experience for the last 2 years, it seems clear that the board can't have the full capacity to prepare in-person council meetings entirely by ourselves. We do have a budget line already approved for this year for council meetings, that is 2,500 euros that we could eventually spend. But the thing is that the value of physical meetings is important, and we should at least ask and open for the cooperation, how can involve member parties in this process, in hosting council meetings. We have done this a couple of times in the past, this is basically to have boots on the ground and to have also expertise on the ground. So I don't know, Veronica, maybe, sorry, yeah, let me see. Sarah, please, you want to add something, and then I would like Veronica just to rephrase a proposal. Yes, please.
Forgive my ignorance. This is my first time in the PPEU board, but I'm curious, considering there is something of a consistent format and a consistent set of processes involved in organizing a council meeting. Have any of these been written down? Does there exist a policy document or anything similar? The reason I ask is because it can simplify things for the local party that is hosting.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sarah, for pointing it out. Veronica, would you like to also add something, please?
Yes, I think it ties nicely with the question from Sarah. So we don't actually have a checklist, or there used to be one apparently, but we were not able to find it. But I am volunteering to make one so that we can use it in the future. And we are also, it will be based on a checklist that we use for kind of national GAs in Czech Republic. So it should cover everything from collecting attendees to requirements regarding the technical stuff that needs to be in a place, streaming, recording, and things like that. So I can make the checklist and maybe present it at the next board meeting, or just in Mattermost, and we can say we can approve it in Mattermost or Discord.
Thank you, Veronica. It makes a lot of sense. Mab, you want to add something? Because I saw that you were.
Yes.
Please.
So I think there's the one thing that we do have is the rules of procedure for council meetings. The problem with those rules is that they're a bit outdated. No one has really updated them to how we work. But those are, of course, only focusing on the rules for the internal part of the meeting, how it should be structured. But those rules have impact on how it needs to be practically organized as well. The fact that when we are having a physical meeting, we still need to allow remote participation. Actually, we need to allow it through proxies in the room, which we don't do because that was based on a time where you couldn't have real-time communication the way we have now. So I think with before we ask member parties to help us organize council meetings, we need to update the rules of procedure for those council meetings. And I think that needs to be part of the process of looking into the checklist. And then I would suggest that we create 2 checklists, one for an online meeting, a purely online meeting, and a separate one for a hybrid meeting. So that we know that depending on which format, we also have a different set list to use. Because the old checklist we have was based on physical meetings, and it didn't really fit with the digital meetings that we now have done for a few of the council meetings. So that is why even though we have a checklist, it isn't really being used because it is for a kind of meeting that we no longer organize. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mab. It also makes very much sense. Sarah, may I ask you to raise down your hand, please? Thank you. Mikuláš, please.
I just wanted to say, some 3 years ago, I started kind of like collecting this type of like documentation for processes, how things are being done. We actually documented 2 of them, how the board is called and how you can have an email on european-party.eu. I sent you the link to the wiki. And maybe it would make sense when there is the checklist or when there is the, let's say, the procedure for calling the council meeting or organizing the council meeting. Should it be described there as well? So maybe whoever does the documentation, please edit there. And second thing, bit unrelated, same applies for the procedure of registration within the Luxembourgish Business Chamber, because nobody usually doesn't, people usually don't know. So maybe if Maya could actually document it over there, it would be also marvelous. I mean, it's not rocket science. Just look at one of the examples. There are some print screens and stuff like that. So basically, we need to create for the 2 above mentioned processes the similar pages.
Thank you, Mikuláš. Yes, it seems very reasonable. It makes a lot of sense. So, if nobody wants to add something on this discussion, I would rather move forward to any other business. And we have in the AOB, we have the setup and over meeting with the former board members, namely Cedric, Elizabeth, and Mia, just to pass this, to have a proper handover and to pass, mostly because they were working on some tasks that they could, so status update and how we can continue the work done. So, for instance, I see that Florian volunteered to working on it, but of course anybody else could help Florian in this process. He's actually a good guy, but still, is involved in many tables. Yeah, with the help, of course. Yeah, Mab wants to say something. I saw that this is just breathing before say something, as you usually do. So that's.
Well, I think what is worth discussing is whether the best format is one handover meeting with all 3 of them, or try to set up individual meetings with the 3 of them, because they worked on different things. And I think if you try to find a date that works for all 3 of them, we might spend a lot of time not finding any time for that.
Yeah.
But if you have individual meetings, then we can just find their availability. And that will lead to not all of the new board being present for all of those handover meetings, but I also think that is fine. And I also think that will be the case if there's only one meeting. So my suggestion is to contact them and try to set up individual meetings where they can tell the board over Jitsi what they worked on and what their experience was and how that can be passed on to the new board.
Thank you, Mab. Actually, it was also absolutely my idea. I mean, it makes for me more sense to have this one-to-one meeting or bilaterals, as I just learned this new word from the European Commission. It's bilaterals. When you have just meeting, when you meet someone in person, it's bilateral. So because and then report maybe eventually informally in the Mattermost chat, and then formally in our written section of the board meetings. So anybody really wants to help Florian in this process or is involved? I'm also looking at Giuseppe for all the stuff, for instance, that was that the IT stuff that Cedric was involved into, or Sarah, if you want to just take contact, for instance. I'm just suggesting because for Elizabeth was working a lot on the media and on the website. I mean, very also to have templates to foster the onboarding process for pirates. So yes, Veronica, please, and onboarding as well. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, maybe could we just write down or have a chat in Mattermost what kind of things we would like to deal with most in the board, like you're saying IT, finances, onboarding, and then based on that set up meetings with the previous board members so that the people who will be doing that stuff are present at the meeting, mainly them. I think, does it make sense what I just said? So that we know who needs to be on the handover meeting with certain people.
Sure, it makes sense. Jan, you want to add something, please?
Just a short question. Oh, is my microphone working? Oh, it should be working, right?
100%.
Okay. So I just had a quick question. Is anyone currently or on the old board responsible for media? Because I think we sort of we sort of probably collectively forgot about it maybe in the last board. Like hasn't been really much of a topic. But even before Mikuláš speaks, what I wanted to say with that is that I'm willing to take that over as my responsibility, because I noticed that especially like the Twitter account has like huge gaps where like for 2 months or sometimes I guess even more than 2 months there's nothing posted. So I guess that there should be someone who's looking over it and making sure that there's at least, let's say, one post a week.
Thank you, Jan, for pointing it out, and also for your willing to help. Mikuláš, please.
Effectively, previously it worked that way, that social media of the PPEU were to a high degree filled with content coming from the European Parliament. Mainly, Nikki was very active in providing stuff. On the other hand, you know that Nikki is the employee of the group. Of the Green Group, which means he can do stuff related to his work, but no more than that. So hardly you can expect him to create to provide their sort of like interactivity or replies to the people. So I believe we should do some sort of like a supervision on the social media and work there. We actually used to have some proposals for like media strategy in the past that were, to my knowledge, not approved, but we should probably revive it, or even approved. Petr Kocourek actually made something, wasn't it there? We should find it out, approve it, and have, let's say, a strategy how to do that, and then involve more people.
Okay, thank you, Mikuláš. I think that we can also use, the help of Jan of doing this, and we can discuss it internally and sort it out as soon as possible, because European elections are on the way, and we don't want to waste time in between. Okay, so if there are no other business, I think that I would with pleasure leave you all to your Sunday and officially close the meeting at 11:39 sharp. Thank you everyone to participate. Thank you for remote participation of Veronica on the way back to Czech Republic, of Jan, Florian, Anya, and all the guys that are here with me in Luxembourg, and a huge thank for our Luxembourgish pirate for the great stuff they have done yesterday and today. So here we have one of them. Look at him there. He's there. You can't see.